My name is Rebecca Allen, and I'm going to walk you through setting up an Interwrite PRS system, also known as Clickers, in your classroom. This is the first of a two-part series. There are 4 steps that you need to complete in order to successfully use the PRS with your students. Today we're going to go over connecting your system, setting up your class, and creating lesson questions. In a separate lesson, I will cover how to administer the lesson, grade the lesson, and save the data collected. When looking at the PRS remote or clicker, you will see that I have divided it into 3 sections. The green section is where the student will see the answer they enter, and then a confirmation that their answer was received once they send it. The pink section is the menu and scroll buttons, and they are used when setting up clickers and in self-paced or homework modes. These are covered in the next lesson. The blue section is the section the student will input his or her answers depending on the type of question. This illustration shows how the PRS operates. The teacher computer is considered the host computer, and the hub is connected to it by a USB link. The remotes or clickers connect and transmit data to the hub using an RF radio frequency. Once the remotes join the class, it will provide the teacher with the student ID and radio ID, along with the answers the student chooses during the lesson. When you open the PRS software, it will begin to search for a class to connect to. If a class is not found, you will be asked to create one. For each class you set up, you will need to fill out the information and default setting tab. You will be using an RF environment, so you will not need to create a response map. Once you have created your classes, you will see this screen, which will allow you to select the class you need, then click OK. Once you have chosen your class, you will need to start the class before the clickers can connect or join. Click the RF menu, then click Start Class. The receiver will search for a clear channel, and once it is found, the students can turn on their clickers and join the class. The number in the brackets is a quick jump code, and it will connect the students quickly to the class. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a counter and a list that will show who and how many have connected to the class. Once the student turns on his or her remote or clicker, it will begin scanning for a class. You can now let the student wait until the class shows up, or instruct them to type in the quick jump code. Have the student's ID number available so that they can type it in. This will only be needed for the first time the student joins the class. When you have completed the first class, end the class by going to the RF menu and click on End Class. When you are prompted to save new students to the roster, click Yes. You can then go to the roster and add the student names if you like. There are 2 ways you can create questions to use the PRS remotes with. You can use the PRS software or Microsoft PowerPoint. Interwrite PRS can support these type of questions. When creating questions in the PRS software, begin by clicking the Lesson tab at the top. Click on Lessons and then click New Lessons. Click on the New Question button and a template will appear for you to complete. You can add additional questions to a previously designed lesson by choosing it from the list of previously made lessons. In order to use PowerPoint slides with the PRS, you will need to make sure that you have installed the PowerPoint add-in. Now you can use the existing PowerPoint slides to create questions. The easiest format to use is numbered bullets. Type in your questions and answer choices, then click New Question. This dialog box will appear so that you can set your question parameters. You will need to do this for every question in your PowerPoint presentation. Remember, before you get started using any kind of technology, make sure you plan ahead. Check all the equipment, batteries, make sure everything's operating. Also provide clear instructions so that everyone understands the process and how to use the technology. And also encourage the students to discuss their answers with each other before collecting the answers. Therefore, the understanding of the questions will be more important.